Well, welcome to Wednesday Web Chat. This is Carl Lewis, your host from Vision 33. And today's Wednesday Web Chat, we're going to be taking a look at Saltbox, our integration as a platform service. And the most common thing that people have used it for is e-commerce integrations. So we'll take a look at what that's about and what some of the benefits are of doing an e-commerce integration with the Saltbox utility. Just before we get started, just the usual announcements to remind you that there is a book. It's a really great resource when you have a new employee. I was just talking to a friend of mine in Utah the other day, and he was reminding me that every time he has a new employee, this is the book he gives them as a resource to help them learn SAP Business One. It has been updated, of course, for version 10. All the new HANA-specific chapters are there now because the first version was written for version 9.2, which didn't have all of that stuff finished. And there are many updated functions in a lot of the chapters of the book. As they've added new features and whatnot, we try to pull the most significant ones to add to the chapters of the book. It's available from Amazon, of course, but there are probably a couple different options available to you at sappress.com. If you look for it there, you can search for it on Amazon by its name or by my name, Carl Burton Lewis, and they will find it for you pretty easily. Also, just to remind you again of the Customer Resource Center, if you are looking for help regarding SAP Business One and like to do things yourself, this is a good first stop. And you can find all kinds of help documents, whether they be PDF documents or white papers, maybe videos and other tutorials and things that are almost like manuals from SAP when you really want to get deeper than you might even be able to get with the book that I wrote. So this is a great resource. Part of that is a resource, 8 video lessons about Crystal Reports. So if you're in mind to kind of learn how to do some of your own report work, edit your own reports and the forms in SAP Business One, this is a good resource because it'll just kind of teach you how do I access and make changes and things of that nature. Also, just to be a reminder for you about current versions of SAP Business One, for a very short time, we had actually recommended from Total Care Feature Pack 2208 for version 10. However, for the first time in my memory, and been around a while, we've decided to recall Feature Pack 2208 because it just developed some problems that we didn't foresee, even after testing it pretty rigorously. So we've rolled back, and the recommended versions are version 10, Feature Pack 2202, and they refer to it as Hotfix 1. So that's now our official Vision 33 recommended upgrade patch for both Microsoft SQL databases and SAP HANA databases of SAP Business One. And as always, if you are upgrading or interested in upgrading to version 10, which we highly recommend that you stay current on your software, speak to Total Care, reach out to them, let them know you want to do that. They will help you do a little survey and make sure that you're kind of headed down the right path and don't have any problems that we know of, just in terms of your environment and your collection of add-ons and those sorts of things. And please join me every other week for the Connected Enterprise podcast. I've been interviewing people from business all over the place over the last 4 years. We are getting close to our 100th episode. Watch for an announcement about that. And we talk about all the ways that businesses stay connected to their employees, to their customers, to their vendors, and speak to a lot of the things that are happening currently in the business world and in the world at large and how they're impacting business and what you do about it. So lots of great ideas for people leading today's businesses. And you can find it on iTunes, Google Play, TuneIn, Radio Public, Spotify, and Libsyn. There are, on iTunes, it's both audio and visual. If you really like to look at my beautiful face for 30 minutes or so and my guest. And otherwise, they're all just audio, and you can find them just about any place that podcasts are available. So today, we want to talk about Saltbox e-commerce integration. So first off, let's just kind of take 2 or 3 slides and talk about what Saltbox is and how it relates to business. So most everything business does is basically a workflow, right? It starts and ends someplace and it has steps in between. The Saltbox platform really makes it easier to connect and integrate your business processes, applications, and data. So whether you're doing it on a website, in a web form, there's a way to integrate that with SAP Business One. And if you happen to not be an SAP Business One customer, it's possible to do that in your ERP system also. So it's really kind of an agnostic platform to do integrations of all sorts. Saltbox is Vision 33's version of a born in the cloud iPaaS solution, right? That stands for, we love acronyms in our industry, as most industries do. Well, this one stands for Integration Platform as a Service. Not that we don't talk fast enough already, but these acronyms help us speak even faster and be less understand. It enables automation of various workflows within organizations. It's available with an ever-expanding suite of industry connectors, including SAP Business One, Shopify, Concur, Salesforce, HubSpot, and I would say about 35 or 40 others that have already been connected, various types of e-commerce systems and various types of other point solutions that our SAP Business One customer collective are using and have integrated with SAP Business One via Saltbox to date, which is over the last 2 or 3 years. It offers a high level of data security and flexibility and tremendous visibility into the integration metrics and the KPIs so that you can see how the integration platform is performing. Some of the benefits, well, having one single integration platform reduces cost and errors often caused by multiple systems and applications. What do I mean by that? Well, let's say previously you had 3 websites. You would have had 3 individual custom coded integration solutions for each one of those websites. Even if they were exactly the same site, like a Shopify site, there were 3 different ones. They were all Shopify systems, but each one of them was for a different part of your business or a different part of the globe, right? So different geographies, perhaps. They would have all been individual. And each one of them, requiring every time you upgraded, you have to upgrade each and every one of those integrations. Well, now with Saltbox, you really have one single platform by which you can integrate all 3 of those websites. And so upgrades and maintenance and all of those things and learning how to do things yourself, it allows you to do it much easier and for much lower cost. So it allows for innovation to get work done. It greatly improves the return on technology investments due to the drastic reduction in design, development, and testing effort. Now, why is that? Well, that's because, as you heard me mention, all of those pre-existing connectors, well, they probably aren't exactly perfect for your environment. Let's say our Shopify connector, for instance, you may want to do something additional. Well, rest assured that the vast majority of the basic stuff is already done, and it's just a matter of kind of turning it on and setting it up. So we're not starting from scratch every time a customer needs to do an integration. If we've already done that connector, you get the benefit of that connector already being created. That gives you tremendous flexibility and ease of use in designing simple to extremely complex workflows, visually or via scripting, right? So I'll give you some examples in a little demos about how visual the connecting tool is. It's really gives you unparalleled connectivity with any system or solution. And it provides for complete synchronization of data between SAP Business One and all of your point solutions. And we don't use point solutions as, saying they're less than. It simply means they have a very specific and important purpose. We used to refer to a lot of things as best of breed. This was the best website I could find. This was the best CRM system I could find. This was the best PLM system I could find. And so you want to use those, but you'd like to centralize the data for reporting and analysis purposes. That is definitely accomplishable. You can gain tremendous increased buy-in from employees and stakeholders for your SAP Business One system when it's completely integrated with everything that you do. And it greatly minimizes the need for developer resources because, as I said, it's a tool that you can actually learn to use yourself over time, of course. So what are some key features? Well, it's a very visual user interface to both create and manage workflows and field mappings. There are dashboards to quickly review transaction status and the metrics. And it's role-based user access, so you can have different users access different things. So, you don't have somebody like me who's not that technical, really looking too deep into the application and making changes they ought not to make. Some of us, know we shouldn't, and others don't, and that's why there's role-based user access security. It allows you to scale the workflow engine to handle peak seasonal workloads, for instance. Like, let's say, I know one of our customers, the fruit company, does about 80% of their work in the months of November and December every year. And so they need to be able to scale that workflow engine up, right, to make it extremely productive during that type of a season, as opposed to just their normal, flow of information the rest of the year. And it has the ability to integrate with SAP Business One via the service layer for SAP HANA and the DI API for SQL customers. So it works for both, right? You don't have to be a HANA customer to take advantage of Saltbox. So here's one of the first demos that I'd like to show you. I've got a couple. This one is about Shopify. Now, I'd like to say that we've got a demo of all the different web platforms that we've integrated for with e-commerce, but that's not the case. But we do have one for Shopify. It's pretty short, but it'll give you a really good idea of how this works.
Introducing Shopify Connector for Saltbox, a cloud-based solution for integrating Shopify e-commerce platform with all of your business processes. This connector provides a wide array of integration points and utilities that you can use to build a solution to meet your specific needs. The drag and drop workflow designer allows you to build integrations between Shopify and a wide array of endpoints. Or begin with starter workflows that integrate between Shopify and SAP Business One, then tweak them to suit your needs. Starter projects for common Shopify and SAP Business One integrations get your projects moving quickly. Leverage a starter workflow that takes your sales orders from Shopify and creates a B1 order with reserve invoice and payment. Or use our delivery workflow that takes a delivery from SAP Business One and creates a Shopify fulfillment, including tracking information. Synchronize item master data in SAP Business One with Shopify products. Manage your inventory in SAP Business One and push that into Shopify locations. Project settings let you turn on or off workflow options without modifying the workflow itself, like whether to create a new customer in B1 based on a Shopify order or whether to send an email to your fulfillment team. Or you can edit a starter workflow directly, allowing you to completely tailor the workflow to your business. Let's take a look at one of our starter workflows. Send Shopify orders to SAP Business One. Using a scheduled workflow trigger, we can get the latest Shopify orders. Every few minutes, we fetch the newest orders, ensuring they're processed promptly while avoiding duplicates. The Workflow Designer shows an easy-to-read and easy-to-edit version of the workflow. Extend the workflow using the drag-and-drop editor, no programming required. Let's take a look at the details for mapping our Shopify order to a B1 order. Even though this high-level view is helpful, the details are still important. To provide the flexibility needed to build nuanced business processes, our Visual Data Mapper is a great tool to use. Here we can choose which B1 fields need data, then drag and drop the relevant Shopify order data. Using direct mapping, we can take our Shopify customer ID and use it as the B1 card code. Using function mapping, we can take our Shopify customer's first name and last name and concatenate them together to display a formatted card name on the B1 order. Using a constant mapping, we can tell the B1 order that all orders are in US dollars. This powerful tool doesn't need a programmer, but it does provide the flexibility to allow a programmer to get involved if they need to, using the calculated mapping. Saltbox provides built-in tools for monitoring and troubleshooting, and the platform runs on the cloud, providing scalability and easy upgradability for your solution. Use the message trace feature to trace through workflows that failed. Quickly identify the source of a problem with visual cues and drill down to see supporting details. Once data issues are identified and resolved, use the retry option to rerun the workflow and finish processing. For more information or a demo of how you can use Shopify Connector for Saltbox to improve your business processes, visit vision33.com.
So it doesn't take much there to see how easy it is to learn how to use this tool and how easy it would be to learn to maintenance your things. And additionally, I'm going to show you a demonstration next here of an integration to ShipStation. Almost anybody that has an e-commerce system is going to need to ship things. And one of the most popular shipping solutions today is ShipStation. So you can integrate your e-commerce site and your shipping solution to work all together with SAP Business One, all three of them. And this is an illustration. The reason it's so important is that you can really start thinking now, well, my salespeople use Salesforce or HubSpot, for instance, right? One of the two. Can I integrate that, right, with SAP Business One in addition to my e-commerce and my shipping solution? Yes, all of them using one iPaaS integration as a platform service, right, in one place at one time. So you don't have multiple solutions to integrate with Business One, all of them requiring separate dedicated coding, right, and development projects to do it. It's really just one platform, one service that's hosted in the cloud. So you don't even have to have a server on premises to do this, even if your stuff is on premises. And if it's in the cloud, it's even easier than that. So it's a tremendous boom to being able to kind of bring everything under one roof, right? And make your processes and stuff work so much better than you could possibly imagine. Many customers who have had these singular kind of solutions before have moved to Saltbox just to gain that particular advantage, to put everything under one roof. Here's a real brief illustration of ShipStation integration using Saltbox.
Introducing ShipStation Connector for Saltbox, a cloud-based solution for integrating ShipStation with all of your business processes. This connector provides a wide array of integration points and utilities that you can use to build a solution to meet your specific needs. The drag and drop workflow designer allows you to build integrations between ShipStation and a wide array of endpoints. Or begin with a starter workflow that integrates between ShipStation and SAP Business One, then adjust it to suit your needs. Starter projects for common ShipStation and SAP Business One integrations get your projects moving quickly. Leverage starter workflows designed to integrate order or shipment details between ShipStation and SAP Business One and back again. Or handle pick and pack scenarios, seamlessly integrating critical package data between systems. Edit a starter workflow to completely tailor the workflow to your business. Let's take a look at one of our starter workflows, process shipment from delivery note. This workflow sends delivery note details created in SAP Business One over to ShipStation. From there, ShipStation processes the shipment and handles label printing. Finally, ShipStation reports back to SAP Business One with the details needed to invoice the customer. Using a scheduled workflow trigger, we can automatically detect new delivery notes created in SAP Business One. Every few minutes, we fetch delivery notes, ensuring they're processed promptly while avoiding duplicates. The workflow designer shows an easy to read and easy to edit version of the workflow. Extend the workflow using the drag and drop editor, no programming required. Let's look at another workflow. This time, we'll map an order updated in ShipStation to a B1 order. Even though this high-level workflow view is helpful, the details are still important. To provide the flexibility needed to build nuanced business processes, our visual data mapper is a great tool to use. Here we can choose which B1 fields need data, then drag and drop the relevant ShipStation fields over. Using direct mapping, we can map ShipStation data to SAP Business One. Using function mapping, we can seamlessly transform data from ShipStation to B1 or vice versa. Using a constant mapping, we can assign a value from a project or hardcode a known value such as location ID. This powerful tool doesn't need a programmer, but it does provide the flexibility to allow a programmer to get involved if they need to, using the calculated field mapping. Saltbox provides built-in tools for monitoring and troubleshooting, and the platform runs in the cloud, providing scalability and easy upgradability for your solution. Use the message trace feature to trace through workflows that fail. Quickly identify the source of a problem using visual cues and drill down to see supporting details. Once data issues are identified and resolved, use the retry option to rerun the workflow and finish processing. For more information or a demo of how you can use ShipStation Connector for Saltbox to improve your business processes, visit vision33.com.
I hope you could see with that it's not two separate solutions. It's a single solution integrated to both of these platforms, right? So a Saltbox to Business One integration and a Saltbox to ShipStation to Business One to your e-commerce solution as well. All of them working together through the Saltbox platform. So you can now begin to think about, the many things that your business does. I often get the question, well, how big do you have to be before you really need an integrated shipping solution? Because you can do things manually in SAP Business One. Yes, that's true. I would say I'll give you this from all of my years in the industry and talking to a lot of different companies, that basically, if you're shipping 200 packages a day or more, you absolutely must have a shipping integration. It just has to happen because you can't keep up, and the amount of errors and frustrations and can't find it that you're going to have just multiply. Less than that, you can probably get by. But even if you've only got 50, the benefit may be astounding, right? Just to be able to have those solutions integrated and provide that sort of smooth operating process to your staff, and especially your warehousing and shipping personnel. So lots of things that can be done with Saltbox. Want to talk now about kind of a few customers that have done something with Saltbox and what they've got to say about it, right? These are cutouts from customer success stories that we've acquired. A company called Green Sprouts. They're a retail company in Asheville, North Carolina, in the United States. The quote that they gave us was that integrating both Shopify sites, so they had two, uh, with SAP Business One via Saltbox, was straightforward and easy. Now with Saltbox's slick interface, we have total control, moving things around, remapping whatever we want, right? So Scott Pierce and his staff are doing some of that work for themselves. They had two Shopify sites and they couldn't integrate with SAP Business One. They even had an application that was supposed to be able to do that called AppC Connect, and did not have success with that. So the integration platform didn't offer adequate automation or control over systems and workflows. So it had a connector, but they couldn't change it. They couldn't modify it. They couldn't make it work for them. And issues were difficult to resolve because of incompatible time zones with the support teams, right? So the benefits have been that automated workflows have made pivoting business operations really easy. Additional integrations can continuously add value to the business. So what I know Scott's talking about is if they want to add a third website, they have that option, right? If they want to integrate their CRM system, they have that option. They don't feel limited, right, by this selection. And the self-service and maintenance without developer assistance is a huge benefit. So that's Green Sprouts. Another one is La Marzocco, which is a company that sells coffee machines, right? So making espressos and lattes and cappuccinos and all those sorts of things. Most wonderful place in the world to go inside of because it smells so good. Their quote is, "We're going to be running SAP Business One for years. It works well for us. But having Saltbox gives us that extra oomph to do everything we need to do." Okay? So they're also a retail business, of course, and their order volume skyrocketed due to the 2020 pandemic. So evidently, people started ordering their very own, like small shop coffee machines because they were staying in. They didn't want to go out to Starbucks and all the other places. If you lived in Seattle, where they're from, there's like 10,000 choices. But their e-commerce solution, WooCommerce, could not integrate with SAP Business One. Now, they didn't change it, right? Not the Saltbox. They stuck with WooCommerce, but they integrated it to SAP Business One. They had no automated data flows, which meant employees had to manually enter all the orders from the website into SAP Business One. So their benefits were that they automated and streamlined the entire e-commerce side of the business. They eliminated all the manual data entry, which means no more errors, no more frustrations, right? And they improved inventory and supply chain management drastically because they integrated the systems and had real-time inventory updates. VA Tree. Another company that I know very well, and I know Jody Davis. She's when I used to teach Crystal Reports classes, I met Jody and one of her teammates and saw them at many conferences. Their quote is that the e-commerce manager and I were amazed at how easily Saltbox worked. It was a total game changer. They're in what they call consumer goods, and they're in Oakville, Ontario, Canada, right? Their challenges were that their e-commerce's website integration with SAP Business One didn't allow cost-efficient, scalable customizations. Now, to be honest, this was a solution previously created by Vision 33, right, for them. It was heavy on the coding side, and development requirements made it difficult to create their own workflows, change mappings, gain full visibility. Any change they needed, they had to go back to the development team to make that change. The e-commerce platform was very time consuming and expensive. So moving to Saltbox allowed VH3 to integrate with systems for picking, packing, shipping, and warehouse management, right? It enabled highly customized Shopify Plus sites where less expensive and easier to use, right? So they integrated using Saltbox and everything became easier and it streamlined e-commerce order fulfillment tremendously. Now, they have two different Saltbox Plus sites. One of the things that they sell that is really remarkable is actually tableware, silverware, very nice stuff like made in Italy and places like that, right? So they specialize in that kind of import. And finally, is a place called the Tile Shop. I'll bet you can imagine what they do. And Danny Wang and his staff told us that Saltbox quickly gets everyone on the same page by giving our customers, our sales teams, 3 store locations, and a website access to the same data in real time. So here's folks that operated 3 retail locations and website, plus SAP Business One, right? They're located in Concord, Mississauga, and Scarborough, Ontario, Canada, and they call themselves a retail place of business. They had a lack of integration between Shopify sites and SAP Business One. They were completely standalone, and all of the data from their website had to be manually entered into multiple systems for their purposes to make it work well. And it was an inadequate inventory visibility because they weren't integrated. So each side was making commitments, each side was selling out of their warehouse, but not updating in real time. So the benefits for them were lightning fast flow of information between SAP Business One and Shopify, and automated ordering and accounting processes. So because everything gets updated in real time in a real time accounting system, and once you start bringing orders in from your website, everything gets to be real time rather than manually posted. And inventory visibility with automatic checks and updates every 5 minutes. So whatever happened on the website, every 5 minutes, it was updated in SAP Business One. Whatever SAP Business One did that updated an order that was created on the website, it was updated every 5 minutes. And that's kind of how Saltbox works, is you set that sort of cadence that you want, right? To happen as often as you want. That way, if you have a really, if you have a lot of stuff that's happening at one time of the day or certain hours of the day, you can kind of stay clear of that if you feel like it's more productive to just have things integrated at the close of the day or at the start of the day or just 1 or 2 times a day or every 5 minutes, as the one company did. So lots of options for your benefit and your workflow requirements. And lastly, Eastporters, based in Oakville, Ontario. I don't know why I chose 3 or 4 companies from Canada, but it did. This company is in industrial machinery and equipment. They had previously used QuickBooks, so they kind of deployed Business One and Saltbox, right? If we hadn't have implemented SAP Business One last year, we would have been blind to order status and the location of process breaks, right? So a lot of this became really important to them. The company handles multiple market distribution channels, retail, wholesale, and online. And they had a lot of disconnected systems. All these things were disconnected from their previous ERP system. And processes that created data silos required too much manual effort. And employees worked double shifts just to keep up with the growth, but couldn't prevent delays and missed shipments, right? You do the best you can do sometimes, but when you don't have automated workflows, this is what's going to happen. You get dissatisfied customers when that occurs. So this really jump-started the company's digital transformation process, and it gave them real-time reporting, provided greater visibility into product demand and changes, and it integrated their EDI systems, right? So Saltbox is an EDI integration platform also. Warehouse management, they had a separate warehouse management system, custom made, and they integrated that and an e-commerce solution, all to manage multiple sales channels. So this integrated it into one inventory management system and gave them tremendous visibility, productivity into doing their work going forward. So those are just 4 or 5 examples of how the Saltbox iPaaS platform could benefit your business and how integrating it with e-commerce. And you can see that some of these customers have done other things as well, but primarily they've integrated it with e-commerce and put a few other things on it as well to give them really a whole well-rounded solution, integrating all of their best of breed applications that their business is using. And it makes upgrades far easier in the future, and the maintenance and development costs are diminished dramatically because of the Saltbox platform. Well, that's what I've got for you today. I want to check quickly to see if I had a question from anyone. And I think I already answered this, but the question that I do see is, does Saltbox now support multiple Shopify stores from a single SAP Business One instance? Yes, it absolutely does. We have one customer that's got like 7 different Shopify sites, and they've integrated all 7 of them to one instance of SAP Business One. So something that it can certainly do. And even if you have another customer has multiple sites, but they're not all like Shopify, they've got Shopify and 2 or 3 other things, and they're all integrated with SAP Business One. So it is a really powerful platform, but designed to be as simple as it can possibly be, really using the most contemporary technology available, right? And that's really why this is such a magnificent change. Truthfully, over the last 3 years, Vision 33 has probably done over 180 Saltbox projects. This is really turning the page on technology, and we want to be sure that our customers know that there's better solutions than what they might have had 5 to 10 years ago. So if you're interested, always contact your CRM, your customer relationship manager in your region for Vision 33, or email me, carllewis@vision33.com, and I'll help you find the right person so that you can go deeper in your investigation about Saltbox. Thanks for joining us today on Wednesday Web Chat. I hope to see you again on another episode in the near future. Have a great day.